What's up, brother? That's right. That's a series win. And the Houston Astros roar out of Detroit. And Justin Verlander looks like a first ballot Hall of Famer. Mauricio Dubon almost does something that Jose Altuve has yet to do. Let's talk about it on this edition of Locked On Astros.
Jainel Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett Htown Wheelhouse Chancey.
Hey everybody, welcome into another edition of Locked On Astros. Happy Mother's Day officially if you're listening on Monday. That's right. We hope you had a safe and celebratory Mother's Day. The flowers were aplenty. The chocolate-covered strawberries were all over the store today, and I hope that you spent time to spend with your mother. And if some of y'all, I know some of us may not have the luxury of having mom around anymore. I know a friend of mine reached out to me, and when I posted the pictures of taking my mom to the game last weekend, he said, I lost my mom a few years back and just cherish every moment. So just make sure that you remember the good times with her, because without moms, literally, we wouldn't be here. But this episode, y'all, is brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is a really fun place to play fantasy sports. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB and use the promo code LockedOnMLB for your first deposit match of up to $100. I'm Htown Wheelhouse. You can find me at Htown Wheelhouse on X, Instagram, and TikTok. You can find me at Stros411 on X, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive, always Stros. I want to say that I'm super excited about this episode. It's always easier to talk about the team when they're doing well. And they've won 3 of their last 4. They're 5-5 in their last 10. They're 5-6 this month. And typically you wouldn't be very celebratory of a 5-6 record for your team. But with this team, you definitely are excited about it. And before we get started, I want to tell you the 3 big takeaways of our show, and I'll explain why I have a green flag in my background. There is a reason for it. So the 3 big takeaways we're going to talk about in the first segment: Justin Verlander delivered on his promise to get back to what he knows, and he always pitches well in Detroit. And the second big takeaway, the offense finally came through and gave him run support, which we know in Houston they rarely do. And the third one is the Astros win a series they needed after dropping 2 of 3 to the Yankees. And it's a good getaway flight. It's a happy flight home that definitely takes the stress off for the guys to come back to Houston to play against the Oakland Athletics. Now, in my background, you'll notice I'm wearing my green style Houston Astros hat. In the background, you'll see a flag. It says the word sell. Now, I'm not advocating that we sell the team or Crane sell the Astros. This is a flag that's been made famous in Oakland. And I don't know what your thoughts are on the Oakland A's franchise and then being moved to Las Vegas and all the hubbub. They're going to be in Sacramento for a few years, and it's going to be till 2029, when they're in Oakland. But I had an Oakland fan base reach out to me and ask me to fly the sell flag at Minute Maid Park. So I will be at Minute Maid Park tomorrow night. They actually sent me one of my own. So this is a keepsake for me. I have one that I'll be taking to Minute Maid Park tomorrow night. And so thank you guys for honoring me with that. And I have the other one. It's in an envelope. I'm waiting for the address, and I believe I'm sending the flag that they sent me to Atlanta. So the flag that I'm going to fly will go to Atlanta. Then I will keep the one that is hanging up here in my room. So without further ado, let's get on to this. And yes, someone did say it. Ben, you called it. I called it. I told y'all JV. Now, I said he could throw a no-hitter, but I will take what we got out of Justin Verlander today any day of the week. It doesn't matter a no-hitter or not. 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, 8 strikeouts. I mean, look, this is how he divided up his pitches today. I've got a cool little graph from Baseball Savant. I love their stuff here. If you look, it shows 48 four-seam fastballs, 22 curves, only 2 changeups, and 23 sliders. So this is how he broke up his pitching today. And not only was that his line of 7 innings pitched, but he got 14 swings and misses. He got 10 swings and misses on his four-seam. He got 2 swings and misses on his slider. He got 2 swings and misses on his curveball. And he looked really, really good. And, for the most part, JV was really skating through the game. First inning, second inning, third inning, fourth inning, fifth inning. There weren't a whole lot of high stress situations, right? Well, then you get to the 6th inning and the 7th inning, and we will get to the offense in the second segment. I really want to talk about Justin Verlander and the Astros getting the checkered flag. And I would like to know your thoughts in the comments section. What did you think about the Detroit City Connect jerseys? Eric didn't seem to like them. Eric is actually still celebrating Mother's Day with his family. That's why I'm here solo. Since I had the advantage of doing it last weekend, I was kind of a little bit more free today. So that's why I'm here and he is not. But what did y'all think about their uniforms, the Motor City uniforms? I actually kind of liked them. I thought they were cool. I like the blue and the black. I like the tire tread. Now, I thought they probably could have done more with Detroit. Maybe throw some Motown stuff in there. But the problem with the City Connect is there's no real flow. And I guess that makes sense because every city is different. I mean, San Diego is bright and, it's very like California summer beach. And then ours is Space City, and Pittsburgh is just kind of like, it's the Berg. And it's not really the colors are cool, but the uniform's a little off. But I liked the Detroit City Connect. Not my favorite, but I thought they could have done a lot worse, and that's where I'm going to stick with that. But today, Justin Verlander gets into the 6th inning, and he got into some trouble. Now, he got 2 quick outs. He struck out Spencer Torkelson, who for all intents and purposes, Torkelson is a guy that's going to terrorize pitchers for a long time because he's such a good young athlete. I believe one of their top draft picks out of Arizona State a few years ago. I remember Castellani, when he was doing Locked On Tigers, they were eyeing him in the draft. And then Javi Baez really, for the Tigers, has not delivered on the money that they spent on him, but he's still a major league player. He has all-star potential. He flied out. So after the strikeout in the 6th inning, after the fly out by Baez, you got 2 outs. You just got to get one more, get out of the inning. Well, what happens? He walks the next 2 batters. Okay, got a guy on first and second, 2 outs, not a big deal. Mark Canha gets up, boom, hit by a pitch. Oh my gosh. So now you got Mark Canha on first. You've got the other 2 guys on second and third. You got bases loaded, 2 outs. You think JV is going to unravel here or something's going to go wrong. And he got Matt Vierling to line out to left fielder Cabbage. Now, the initial hit off the bat looks pretty strong. And I didn't think it was going out of the park, but I thought it might go over the head of Trey Cabbage. And luckily, thankfully, it didn't. So Justin Verlander escaped that inning. Now, let's go to the 7th inning where he came in and, he kind of struggled. But in the 7th inning, he gave up 1 double. He actually had a strikeout, and he got Spencer Torkelson to pop out. And he collected his 8th strikeout of the game in the 7th inning. So Justin Verlander got out of that. Let's see. Let me go back to that. Carpenter struck out. Ibanez doubled. Colt Keith flied out to center. Then Torkelson popped out. So there you go. He got out of the inning. He actually ended up facing Torkelson 2 innings in a row, and he did not fall victim to him. So Justin Verlander did lead the game after 7 innings. Again, 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, 8 strikeouts, and he told us he would do that. And so next, we're going to talk about what the offense did to pick him up in this victory. This episode is brought to you by Policygenius. Check life insurance off your to-do list today and head to policygenius.com/lockedonMLB. With Policygenius, you can find life insurance policies that start at $292 per year for $1 million of coverage. Some options offer same-day approval and avoid unnecessary medical exams. Look, your work life insurance policy may not have enough protection for your family's needs. Even worse, you may not be able to take it with you when you leave. So Policygenius comes in, they give you unbiased advice with a team of licensed experts to support you through the process. There's no incentive for them to recommend to you one user over the other. They basically find out what your needs are so you can trust their guidance. Thousands of 5-star reviews on Google and Trustpilot customers have found that Policygenius does the job. So check life insurance off your to-do list with Policygenius. Head to policygenius.com/lockedonMLB or click on the link in the description to see your free life insurance quotes and see how much you can save with policygenius.com/lockedonMLB. That's right. And I also want you to know that there is a stream that's called Locked On Sports Today. It's the only 24/7 sports streaming channel on the internet on YouTube. Go check it out. And if you go to Locked On Sports Today, you can see all the latest news, all the greatest news, all the Astros wins, all the action that has to do with the fan base that's trying to rally to keep their team in Oakland. And I know there's some people that think, hey, why do you even care, Htown Wheelhouse? It's not your team. Well, you know, I remember the day they announced the selling of the team, and the former host of Locked On Oakland A's, Jason, he was literally like, he was sending messages saying, I don't know what to do. Like, think about the Astros. And if the Astros decided to sell or walk, or not sell, but they decided they were going to relocate, that would be absolutely devastating. And look, I know it's an onion type of, scenario where it's not just one thing or two things. It's a lot of things that have culminated over the years of mismanagement of the stadium, city funds, and without going into all the detail. But the bottom line is you got a fan base that's absolutely losing their team and possibly losing a second team to the same city. So that would be, that's why I'm doing this. I've got many friends, and it really doesn't have to do with growing up. I was a big Bash Brothers fan. I absolutely loved Mark McGwire, Jose Canseco, Walt Weiss, Dave Stewart, Dennis Eckersley. I actually have a 1989 Battle of the Bay poster in my room, and I don't know if you can see it. If I turn my computer, look at that right there. Battle of the Bay poster with Will Clark and Mark McGwire, the 1989 World Series that actually saved a lot of lives because of that massive earthquake they had. That's a Nike poster from Foot Locker, and it's actually very rare. I've only met one other person that has that same poster. So that's why I'm doing that with the green tonight, to show some solidarity for our friends in Oakland. Oh, yeah. I don't know that I'm going to get to Javier tonight, but Javier did look horrible. I think Javier may have been rushed back too soon. I'm not 100% on that. I'm going to go up here to Arlie. He had a question for me. I'm going to answer it real quick, and then I do want to get to our second big point, which is the offense. Arlie says, hey, Brett, I have a question. Do you think our pitchers are this bad, or is it this young catcher who can't call games, who seems too far-fetched that Hunter Brown is crashing this bad? So is it Diaz? All right. So good question. And the only thing I know to go off of is from what I ask other major leaguers, and in my questions to Stanek about this very topic, I didn't ask him about specific catchers, specific batter mates he's had, but I basically presented him this scenario. And his words to me, and this is a major league pitcher, this isn't me saying it, he said a lot of times it is more of an execution than it is a game calling, because he talks about the homework and the study that the catchers do. Now, catchers, he may make mistakes as a younger catcher because he lost his rookie status last year just by a few games, but he may, because of his lack of experience in the big leagues, may be setting up wrong, may be setting up in parts of the plate or putting his glove in parts of the plate that maybe changes the eye line of the pitcher. But from what other pitchers have told me, a lot of it comes down to execution. Now, there is maybe some trust having to be built up, and maybe these are the growing pains. It might be a little bit of both. It might be, I don't know if it's a 60-40, 50-50, 80-20. I really don't know how to answer that straight. Now, if someone tells you a straight answer and they've never played Major League Baseball, okay, well, that's their opinion. But the fact of the matter is, I've been told by Major League pitchers, more than one, that it more times than not is an execution issue and not a game calling issue. Someone said Arlie is Omar's burner. Yeah. So here's the deal. Look, no, I think that's a legitimate question. Let's get into it. The second big point, the offense comes alive. This is a game where I thought, okay, Justin Verlander is going to pitch out of his mind and the offense is not going to show up. Well, au contraire, mon frere. I was so wrong about that. How wrong was I? Well, I was pretty stinking wrong. I mean, this is crazy. Okay. And I'm going to throw out some things to y'all about this offense. 6 for 12 with runners in scoring position, 3 extra base hits, 2 2-out RBI. Alvarez, Singleton, Diaz, Loperfido, Meyers, who pinch hit and went 3 for 3, and Dubon all had multi-hit games. Now, I'm going to ask this question, talk about more stats, and then see what you guys think. Does Jake Meyers deserve more playing time? And I'll tell you why here in a second. Does he deserve more playing time? I just want y'all to discuss that in the chat, and I'll tell you why I have reason to think that he does. Meyers went 3 for 3 as a pinch hitter for Cabbage. Actually, he went to center field. Dubon tried to get a 5th hit in the game, and they showed Altuve. I think Altuve was nervous because Altuve has yet to get a 5-hit game. Dubon was 4 for 4, and he almost got that 5th hit. It was funny watching Altuve. He was relaxed the whole game until Dubon got up, because Dubon knows, everybody knows that if Dubon or even Alvarez or someone gets that 5-hit game before Altuve, they are going to have one over on him for sure. But let's look at this. What do y'all think? Let me get back to the screen. What do y'all think about Jake Meyers? I know some of y'all were like, the Jake Meyers experiment is done. Meyers is a beast. Okay. Tell me why you think Meyers is a beast, and I'm going to tell you why Jake Meyers is. Of course he was. I'm just saying Jose was like, oh wait, what's going on? Look, the thing I love about Altuve is he's so humble. He doesn't care about him breaking records. He just cares about his teammates being successful. So many of y'all haven't answered my question. What do you think? What is it about Jake Meyers that I'm saying deserves more playing time? This guy has 20 hits in only 75 at-bats. He has 20 hits in 75 at-bats. Look at this. I mean, and 20 hits and 75 at-bats. Now, I'm going to read off what the other players have and how many at-bats they have, and you tell me if you think Jake Meyers might be doing better if he got more playing time. Dubon has 27 hits in 89 at-bats. McCormick has 17. Oh, hold on. I'm getting off track. So, Pena, Altuve, Alvarez, and Diaz, they all have 40 or more hits in between 144 and 161 at-bats. So in theory, if you double Jake Meyers at-bats, you double his hits, and he's one of the team leaders. Now, herein lies the issue with him doing so well. Dubon has 27 hits and 89 at-bats. McCormick has 17 hits and 72 at-bats. Loperfido has 9 hits and 28 at-bats. So all these guys are making the most of their time while they are on the team and on the field. And although you could say, you could probably rank these guys 1 through 4, but we have an overpopulation problem in the outfield. When is Jake Meyers going to get his due? When is Jake Meyers going to get the respect he has not demanded, but they need consistency? His hitting is improving. The more a player plays, the better he gets. Look at John Singleton. And so the outfield is crowded. Does that mean that we have trade pieces? Does that mean that we go get a big name at the trade deadline and we have to give up a guy that is potentially a very, very productive hitter? We're going to finish up that conversation, wrap that conversation up in our last segment. And then we're going to talk about just a little look ahead to the Oakland series and why it's important for us to win the Oakland A's series this next week at home. This episode is also brought to you by Prize Picks. Download the app today and use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB for your first deposit match of up to $100. Look, I love Prize Picks, and baseball season is in full swing. The NHL and NBA playoffs are going off, and it's exciting, and you can get in on some really cool props bets. You can win 100 times your money. The playoffs are here for NHL. If you haven't been watching, the Dallas Stars moved on. You've got some other teams that are getting hot right now. And in baseball, you've got the Houston Astros trying to heat up. So whether you're going to vote on your favorite player to hit home runs, for your favorite goalie to get saves, or your favorite player to hit a bunch of threes, you can go to Prize Picks. You can pick from an enormous amount of options, easy gameplay, and it's the #1 fantasy sports app. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and they also offer weekly promotions, special offers on the biggest moments in sports. Prize Picks now offers Apple Pay for quick and easy deposits in your account. Pick more, pick less. It's that simple. Go with Prize Picks today. Yeah, that's right. Make sure you make us your first listen every day. Become an everydayer. Make sure you check out SiriusXM and search up Houston Astros and listen to Sparks and Ford on every Houston Astros call. If you're not at home able to watch the game, you can listen to it on SiriusXM. Just search up Astros. You can also search up Locked On Astros on Fire TV. That's right. Go to Fire TV, hit the Astros logo, and the first podcast you come to, really the only podcast you see, is the Locked On Astros. Yours truly and Eric are up there on a daily basis. So whenever we get an episode up, you will see us. And not only do we have Locked On Astros podcast, there's also Locked On Astros postcast. Michael Connor, a veteran here in the Houston area radio market, doing a great job over there, doing his post-game analysis of every single game. Not only is he going to be doing Astros, but when the Texans come back around, he's got them, the Rockets, he's got them, some Houston Cougars. So he's basically part of what's called Locked On Houston, and he will be covering more than just the Astros. But now, if you can't get enough Houston Astros here at Locked On Astros, we ask that you slide on over there to Locked On Astros postcast for all the post-game reactions. So if Saturday and Sunday we're not there, or on a Friday, Saturday, you don't see Eric or I, you can always jump over and see Michael Connor. But yeah, so let's continue talking about this hitting thing. Look, hitting is not our problem. It's been scoring runs, and it's nice to see 9 runs put up on the board. When you look at the box score, 18 hits and 9 runs. How frustrating would this game have been if there would have been 18 hits and 2 runs and you lost 3-2? Now, the 3 runs they scored were all in the 9th inning, and that was all given up by Martinez. And someone's like, why don't they pull Seth Martinez? Someone texts me. I'm like, why would you pull Seth Martinez? It's the 9th inning. Unless he gives up another 4 or 5 runs and makes it a 9-7 game, you're keeping Martinez in to save your bullpen, okay? But the hitting definitely creates a good problem to have. Someone said, why don't they send Cabbage back down? I think they like having an option out there. Like today, they needed him with Altuve sitting the bench. And I reached out to a friend and I said, why are they sitting Altuve? They said, well, these off days are scheduled, and they are scheduled in pencil and permanent marker. It is not something that they deviate from. Even though someone I talked to said they didn't necessarily agree with it, they said whenever they set these schedules, whether you're hot or not, you're going to have a seat. So they're not going to deviate from that. So look, I'm just going to tell you this year, as your friend and as your Astros family and your Locked On Astros co-host, don't get too worked up over that. And yeah, Linda, great catch there. Alex Bregman is doing a lot better lately. He was 1 for 5. You would like to see him get more than one hit, but he continued his hit streak on Mother's Day. He usually hits a home run, didn't do that today, but hey, a hit is a hit. And but this team, guys, I mean, I love this. You've got Alvarez had 2 hits. Loper Fito had 2 really solid hits today, scored 2 runs, had an RBI. Meyers, that's crazy. Meyers was 3 for 3 with 3 RBI. I mean, Meyers comes in and makes the most of his coming in and pinch hitting. So they move Loper Fito from center field to left field. They put Meyers in center field. They remove Cabbage from the game. And then you've got Dubon. So you got Dubon hitting. He now has a 746 OPS. You have Meyers with an 801 OPS. I mean, we've got 3 players with an OPS over 800. Alvarez is at 779, which is a little low for him. Dubon 746, 715 for Diaz. Diaz was 2 for 5. I mean, this game, this series, and can you imagine if Javier had avoided that 7-run inning? The Astros would have won that second game 2-1. Yes, I am a glass half full guy, and you know that I always see the good in things, right? I mean, seriously, Javier literally went off the rails in that 1 inning. Guys, he gave up 7 runs in 1 inning. And before I get to the Oakland series, because I'm just going to close it out on that, 7 runs in the second inning. Okay. Of course, he left the game. So if you erase that second inning, which you can erase any innings, you have to have all 27 outs. The Astros literally win that game 2-1. That's what was most frustrating. My question is, did they rush him back? Was Javier honest about how he felt? His velocity was a little bit higher when he was in Corpus than when he was in the big leagues, which tells me, is he still hurt? Now, I did not hear if the game went off or not tonight, because I know there's been rain in the area, but Chas McCormick and Jose Urquidy are supposed to be making their first rehab start. If for some reason they don't on Sunday, they'll do it on Monday. And who knows how many rehab starts Urquidy will need. He may just need 1. He may need 2. But I just hope that we don't hear anything from Javier, and we haven't. There's no indication that it's an injury-based thing. But his locations were off. His velo was down. I mean, it was just that 1 inning. And this is a Tigers offense that is not great. They're very inconsistent. I mean, you guys think we're inconsistent. They are very inconsistent there in Detroit. Okay, so let's look ahead to Monday's game is Spencer Arrighetti versus Ross Stripling. Ronel Blanco goes on Tuesday versus JP Spears. Framber Valdez versus to be announced on Wednesday, and then Thursday, neither team has announced the pitcher. Look, I said, and if you go to our YouTube channel, I said in a short that Ronel Blanco is our best pitcher this year. And someone's like, well, Justin Verlander's our best pitcher. Well, of course, Justin Verlander's our ace. Oh, yes. And I've got to bring this up too before I go. Justin Verlander is obviously our Hall of Fame ace, but you know what? Ronel Blanco, every time he pitches, we win. In his 9 starts, we have 7 wins. No other pitcher has that record. So right now, Ronel Blanco is our best pitcher, I think, for that reason. Now, Hunter Brown coming out of the bullpen looks stellar, and I've got to give him his flowers. He looked great. Thank you for putting that up there, sir. I appreciate it. Yeah, no first inning jinx. I don't know what it is with that first inning, but it was just one of those things that you like to see Hunter Brown gain some confidence. Look, I mean, when Urquidy comes back, when these guys come back, you can definitely do that. Oh, and the Astros actually did make a move in order to bring Javier back. They actually DFA'd Brandon Bielak. Over the weekend, they DFA'd Corey Julks. I don't know if Corey Julks will get claimed. If he doesn't, he'll be back with the team. But Bielak, I think, gets picked up by somebody else. I find it very hard for him, very hard for me to believe that Brandon Bielak's going to pass through waivers. I think he gets picked up by another team, and you know what? He probably needs a chance to do that. Blanco, top 5 Cy Young right now. I don't disagree with that. I think he goes to the All-Star game for sure. Pena should always bat second. Look, Pena in the 4-hole, Pena was great. Pena had like 8 or 9 hits and 12 at-bats. I mean, so I think Jeremy Pena is so hot right now. I don't care where you put him in the lineup. The kid is going to hit. And isn't it great to see Jeremy Pena come back after a very, very tough, very down sophomore year in the high expectations that were set during the playoffs last year? It was so good to see that. And hey, but before I get going, look, tomorrow night, you'll see me at the game. You'll see this sell flag. I'm not going to tell you where I'm going to be hanging it, but if you see a big green flag, it's probably me. And this is to show solidarity to our friends in Oakland who are losing their team this year. And for those naysayers out there who had a couple Giants fans who go, it's not going to make a difference. And I'm like, you know what, though? I was asked and I was honored. And so I'm going to bear the flag for them. So, hey, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Eric will be back tomorrow. He's hanging out with family. Again, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. To my daughter, to my mom, to my stepmom, to my ex-mother-in-law, I'm trying to think of all the moms that I know. If you're a mom and you're a friend of mine, happy Mother's Day. So thank y'all so much for tuning in to Locked on Astros. Remember, we're your team every day. No matter where you go, you can get us free and easy to listen to on your way home from work, on your way to work. So y'all have a good one, and we will talk tomorrow, hopefully after another Astros victory. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hit that like button. We like you. We love you. Go Astros. Y'all have a good one. I'm out. Boom. Rough on the end.